We've covered understanding users, escaping cultural traps, reframing problems, and analyzing ecosystems. Today, we address a principle that contradicts everything most technologists believe. Simplicity is innovation. In the technology world, we worship complexity. We admire sophisticated algorithms, elaborate architectures, and feature-rich products. We assume that more is better, more features, more capabilities, more options. This assumption is wrong, and it kills more AI ventures than any technical limitation. Let me share research that changed how I think about technology design. In my mobile learning studies across multiple countries, I tested educational games with children who had never used electronic devices. We measured how quickly children learned to use different interfaces. The finding was striking. Fewer buttons meant faster learning. Every additional button, every extra menu, every new option slowed comprehension. This was not about intelligence or education level. It was about cognitive load. Every feature you add is a decision the user must make. Every option is mental energy spent on your interface instead of on their actual task. Here is the principle. Every feature you add is a potential point of confusion and a potential point of failure. Features are not free. They cost user attention, development resources, maintenance effort, and system reliability. The most innovative products in history are often the simplest. They do one thing extraordinarily well rather than many things adequately. Consider Google. When Google launched, search engines were portals, cluttered pages with news, weather, stocks, email, shopping, and dozens of other features. Yahoo's homepage was overwhelming. Google launched with a nearly empty page, a logo, a search box, and 2 buttons. That was it. The simplicity was shocking and revolutionary. Google understood that people came to search, not to browse a portal. Consider the original iPhone. When Apple launched the iPhone, competitors had phones with dozens of buttons, physical keyboards, navigation pads, and function keys. The iPhone had essentially one button. Industry experts predicted failure. How could users navigate complex tasks with just a touchscreen? But the simplicity was the innovation. By removing buttons, Apple forced itself to create an interface so intuitive that buttons were unnecessary. Now consider the most successful AI product launch in history, ChatGPT. What made ChatGPT revolutionary was not the underlying technology. Large language models existed before. What made it revolutionary was the interface, a text box. Type your question, get an answer. No complex menus, no configuration options, no learning curve. The simplicity of conversational interaction was the one fundamental difference that changed everything. This brings me to a framework I call the one fundamental difference. The most successful innovations are not defined by everything they do. They are defined by one thing they do differently from everything else. Google's one difference, search that actually worked. The iPhone's one difference, multi-touch. ChatGPT's one difference, natural conversation with AI. Uber's one difference, tap a button, get a ride. Each of these companies added many features after launch, but they won their markets with one fundamental difference, delivered simply and well. Here is a question that will clarify your venture. If you could keep only one feature of your AI solution, which would it be? If the answer is not immediately obvious, you do not yet know what you are building. The one feature you would keep, that is your one fundamental difference. Everything else is secondary. Let me explain why complexity is so seductive and so dangerous. Seduction 1, features feel like progress. When development slows or sales stall, the instinct is to add features. If we just had this capability, customers would buy. But often more features make the product harder to understand and sell. Seduction 2, customers ask for features. Users will always request more capabilities, but users do not understand the cost of complexity, the cognitive burden, the maintenance load, the reliability risk. Your job is to solve their problem, not to give them everything they ask for. Seduction 3, competitors have more features. Feature comparison charts make it seem like the product with more check marks wins, but users do not buy check marks. They buy solutions to problems. A product that solves one problem brilliantly beats a product that addresses 10 problems poorly. Seduction 4, engineers love building. Technical teams enjoy solving interesting problems. Building new features is more exciting than refining existing ones. But engineering excitement is not correlated with customer value. Seduction 5, complexity signals sophistication. There is a bias, especially in B2B sales, that complex products are more valuable. But this is backward. Simplicity is harder to achieve than complexity. Making something simple requires deep understanding of what actually matters. As the French mathematician Blaise Pascal wrote, "I would have written a shorter letter, but I did not have the time." Simplicity requires more effort than complexity. Cutting features is harder than adding them. Now let me give you practical techniques for achieving simplicity. Technique 1, the elimination exercise. List every feature of your product. Eliminate the least important one. Repeat until you cannot remove anything without destroying the core value. What remains is your essential product. This exercise is painful. You will resist cutting features you worked hard to build, but everything you cut makes your core value clearer to you and to your customers. Technique 2, the one-sentence value proposition. Describe your product in one sentence using this format. We help achieve by. If you cannot do this clearly, your product is too complex. Google. We help internet users find information by indexing the web and ranking results by relevance. One sentence. Complete clarity. If your one-sentence value proposition requires explanation, qualifications, or exceptions, simplify until it does not. Technique 3, the 5-second test. Show your product to someone unfamiliar with it for 5 seconds, then hide it and ask, what does this product do? If they cannot answer, your interface is too complex. 5 seconds is harsh, but it reflects reality. Users decide in seconds whether to engage with your product or move on. Those seconds must communicate your core value instantly. Technique 4, progressive disclosure. Not every feature needs to be visible. Start with the simplest possible interface. Reveal additional capabilities only as users need them. Power users can access advanced features. New users are not overwhelmed. Gmail is a master of progressive disclosure. The basic interface is simple: compose, inbox, send, but layers of powerful features exist for users who seek them. Technique 5, the must-have filter. For every feature, ask, is this a must-have or a nice-to-have? Be ruthlessly honest. Launch with only must-haves. Add nice-to-haves only after the core product succeeds. Most products launch with dozens of nice-to-haves that obscure the few must-haves. The result is a product where nothing stands out because everything competes for attention. Let me connect simplicity to AI specifically. AI creates unique simplicity challenges and unique simplicity opportunities. The challenge: AI systems are inherently complex. Machine learning models, training data, inference pipelines, edge cases, confidence thresholds. There is enormous complexity under the hood. The temptation is to expose that complexity to users. The opportunity: AI can handle complexity so users do not have to. AI can make decisions, filter options, personalize experiences, and anticipate needs invisibly. The best AI products feel simple precisely because AI absorbs the complexity. Think of it this way: your AI should absorb complexity, not export it. Every complexity you push onto the user is a design failure. Every complexity you absorb into your system is a gift to the user. This is why ChatGPT succeeded where previous AI interfaces failed. Earlier interfaces forced users to understand AI limitations, craft precise queries, and interpret confidence scores. ChatGPT said, just talk. The AI will figure it out. For Kazakhstan entrepreneurs, simplicity has additional strategic value. You are building for markets with diverse levels of user sophistication, from tech-savvy urban professionals to first-time technology users in rural areas. A simple product serves both. Sophisticated users appreciate efficiency. Novice users can actually use it. Complexity excludes the novice without providing proportional value to the expert. Remember my research finding fewer buttons, faster learning. This applies to AI interfaces as much as to children's educational games. Simplicity accelerates adoption across all user segments. Let me also address when complexity is appropriate. Simplicity is not minimalism for its own sake. It is removing everything that does not serve the user. For expert users solving complex problems, a rich interface may be essential. A radiologist reading medical images needs detailed controls. A financial analyst needs multiple data views. Professional tools serve professionals. But even professional tools should be as simple as possible for their purpose. Not simpler, not more complex. The goal is appropriate simplicity, not absolute simplicity. The question to ask is this: does every element of complexity earn its place? Does every feature justify the attention it demands? If not, simplify. Here is your challenge after this session. 1. List every feature of your AI solution. 2. Apply the elimination exercise. 3. Write your one-sentence value proposition. 4. Identify your one fundamental difference. 5. Ask honestly, could an incumbent easily add this difference? If yes, you need a stronger differentiator. For Smile participation, post your one-sentence value proposition and your one fundamental difference. Comment on 3 peers' submissions, honestly assessing whether their difference is truly differentiating. Evaluate 3 submissions based on clarity and defensibility. Resources Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug, The Laws of Simplicity by John Maeda, and Blue Ocean Strategy by Kim and Mal Boyd. Let me close with a story. When I gave mobile devices to children in Mexico, I did not give them complex educational software. I gave them simple stories with simple interactions: tap to hear, swipe to continue. Within minutes, children who had never seen electronic devices were navigating confidently, not because they were technology geniuses, but because the interface was simple enough that no genius was required. That is the goal of simplicity, not to dumb things down, but to make power accessible, to let users focus on their goals rather than on your interface, to make technology disappear into usefulness. In the AG era, AI can handle unlimited complexity behind the scenes. Your job is to ensure that complexity never reaches the user. Absorb complexity. Deliver simplicity. If we can imagine it, we can make it happen. And the simpler we make it, the more people can join us in imagining.